The Dream Machine's Dreamkey is the first keyboard made by the Polish manufacturer Dream Machines. In the past, Dream Machines earned its reputation by making great gaming mice at affordable prices. However, they have since expanded their lineup to include custom notebooks and now a keyboard. However, given the oversaturated market for gaming RGB keyboards, can the Dreamkey shine through? We shall see about that. The Dream Machine's Dreamkey is available in 3 different variants, all identical apart from the switches used. The keyboard used in this review uses the white Kale box switches, while the other 2 options are the Kale red box and the Kale brown box. In addition to the 3 switches, the Dreamkey also has 2 layered variants, a regular model, which is the one used in this review, and a smaller TKL model. The latter has its number pad removed. When we talk about pricing, the Dreamkey is available for 83 euros or $79, and for this price tag you get a keyboard that has a simple design with no flashy graphics plastered all over the place or unusual shape of the keyboard case. In fact, the Dreamkey could easily pass for a simple office keyboard if you don't pay attention to it. However, the Dreamkey has more to offer than just a plain design, a lot more in fact. We start with the design of the keycaps, which are different to say the least. The symbols and letters are not placed on the top as is the case with many keyboards. Instead, they are placed on the front side of each keycap. This gives the keyboard a different look while also maintaining some functionality. However, this design might not be for everyone and it will require some adjustment period to fully get used to it. Speaking of the keycaps, these are not made from the usual cheap plastic that will get glossy with time. Instead, the keys are made from PBT, which is better overall and will last a long time. In addition to the added endurance, the keycaps have a good texture on their upper part, just enough texture for you to have some grip on them. A metal plate is installed on the upper right corner of the keyboard, which sports the Dream Machine logo in a chrome finish. Below that, there are the LED indicators for the functions of the keyboard, numlock, caps lock, and so on. Another great feature found on the Dreamkey is the usage of a USB Type-C removable cable. This will connect at the center of the keyboard and will snap in place and stay there securely. This is great because it's not only easier to take the keyboard with you without damaging its cable, but if the cable gets damaged, you can easily replace it with any USB Type-C cable that accepts data transfers. This should be the default choice for all keyboards that are priced over $40, as it brings out an extra layer of security and functionality for the keyboard. Security in the sense that will not throw the keyboard away if the cable gets broken in time. It's also good to see a channel to route the cable around the back of the keyboard. This is especially useful for smaller desks or if your monitor stand is large enough to interfere with the cable of the keyboard. The stands of the Dreamkey are simple in their design and work. However, for some reason they are hard to use, as you can't grip them once they are inside the body of the keyboard. In fact, the only way to get them out, at least in my case, was to use a hook and pull them out of their slots. And no, it's not my gloves, they are simply that hard to get out of their slots. Don't say I didn't tell you about it. The disassembly process of the Dreamkey is straightforward until it's not. I was able to remove the front plastic casing of the keyboard, which revealed the metal plate that holds the mechanical switches in place. However, this is where the disassembly process stops, as I was unable to go any further. Either a hidden screw or a clip or both were preventing me from removing the back casing. While disappointing that I was unable to remove the casing to see what is inside, it's a good sign in terms of build quality. When we talk about the accessories, you get what you pay for and nothing else. You get a simple user manual, the USB Type-C removable cable, a keycap puller, and no less than 8 additional blank keycaps. The packaging is also quite good. While the box has little in terms of the design, the internal packaging is great, with soft foam pads placed on the sides of the keyboard and a soft plastic bag covering the keyboard itself. This level of protection is often found on more expensive keyboards, so it's great to see it with the Dreamkey. The Dreamkey is available with 3 different switches, the one used in this review being the Kale white box switches. They have an actuation force of 50 grams and a lifespan of 80 million presses. They also sound like this. One thing which is missing from the Dreamkey is a wrist rest at the front. Even a small one would have been great, especially at this price point. While not a deal breaker as you can always buy an aftermarket wrist rest, it's a bit disappointing to not get one made specifically for this keyboard. The RGB integration is done well. Each key has a single RGB LED placed inside the switch. The illumination is not going through the keys, but instead it goes from the back side. This is done because the Dreamkey uses a different layout for the letters and symbols on the keys, as they are placed on the front side of the keys and not on the top. The functionality of the keyboard is down to the FN key and a combination of other keys. This is independent of the software, which is a great touch. Not needing a piece of software to use your keyboard is always a good sign in my book. Speaking of the software, it's a basic piece of kit with a good layout and a simple interface. However, it needs a bit of work as it's not exactly the smoothest thing in the world. Sometimes it would hang on me, but that might have been just an isolated case. The software has all the basic functions of the keyboard. You can edit the macro keys, disable keys, change the RGB pattern and color and intensity, and of course assign macro shortcuts. The Dream Machine's Dreamkey is a good keyboard that has plenty of features for both gaming and professional usage. The price of €83 or $79 is great, especially in today's market where even basic keyboards that offer no value are priced high because they have RGB and a shiny coat of paint on the spacebar. The Dream Machine's Dreamkey is no such thing. It is well built and offers a good performance out of the box. In addition, the switches have a great tactile feedback and will last you a long time. The removable cable is a great thing to see as it not only brings out some flexibility into the mix, but also allows you to use a different USB Type-C cable as well if you want. And yes, the keyboard will work with a different USB Type-C cable. Just make sure it's a cable that can support data transfer. The layout of the keyboard is good as it is a standard QWERTY layout. However, the design of the keycaps will take some time getting used to, especially for people that have never used such keycaps. It's not bad by any means, it's just different and requires time to learn and adapt to it, so keep that in mind before you make your purchase. The only inconvenience of the Dreamkey are the stands, which are hard to get out of their slots, and the lack of a wrist rest. Other than that, this keyboard is great and should be good for both gamers and professionals, albeit the latter will want more macro keys and a better software interface. If you like this review, then you might consider subscribing for more, and if you want to support me in a direct way, then in the description below you will find the links for both the Patreon and the subscriber star pages of this channel.